Welcome back to a vaguely familiar podcast, the Backward Point edition, which is a cricket wing of the podcast. My name is Nazar Sayed. With me is my brother and partner in crime,
Bashaar,
Bashaar Sayed as well.
what's up, man? Where's the energy?
The energy,
We just played a World Cup final. I mean, we played it like 2 days ago, but
that's the thing.
It took us like a day to recover.
That's
At least for you.
That's what I'm saying. So like I still don't think I still have positively recovered. And I'm not talking about like emotional turmoil. I'm just talking about the physicality of it. Like man, staying up till 7, 8 a.m. is tough on a work night, especially.
Damn.
Um
Proper corporate slave speaking here.
man, it's tough. You know what? It would
I
have
feel like your best days are behind you now. Like you're an old man.
I feel like my age is catching up now. Like the last night that I stayed up for the final, I was just like I slept at like 7:30 a.m. but my eyes were open at 12, like at noon. I couldn't sleep past noon anymore. Like I have a schedule, I have a circadian rhythm. My body
Damn.
has its own clock. It felt
Let's
weird.
go.
So like I definitely a lot of feelings came rushing back just from that one instant. This feeling like, okay, I guess uh, father time has like started kicking in, just because of the abnormality of staying up that late. So I still feel like I still have some sleeping, to catch up on. But regardless of that, the finals emotional toll has definitely taken a toll on me. Um, all of last night, like this final happened 2 nights ago. All of yesterday and last night, I was listening to our boy Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan and "Passionate from Miles Away." Like there's no correlation between Drake and FAC, but here I was, middle of the night, just like reading tweets, watching montages on TikTok.
Yo, these edits. Whoever's
quick.
making these edits on TikTok or Twitter, they're so quick.
Yeah, they're quick.
Like the game's not even finished yet, and we have a Shadab edit, we have a Babar Azam edit, Shaheen Afridi Bold edit.
You know what that makes me believe? That these guys were ready beforehand. They knew we weren't going to make it happen.
Yeah, I don't
They had
know.
a
I
template
don't
ready.
know.
They just stuck Shala, Baba, and Shaheen into it, and boom.
Or maybe it's like two folders. They have one folder if we win, and one folder if we lose, and that's how all the memes, all the edits come out accordingly.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's probably true.
You know, you mentioned a lot of like the emotional toll and the physical toll. I don't know if I'm just like emotionally numb now to Pakistan cricket team's results, but I don't feel anything. Like I am dead on the inside.
Well, that has a lot to do with other things in life which you don't have to get into.
No, I'm serious. Like I've seen so much sadness and heartbreak as a Pakistan cricket fan in my life that this is nothing for me. Like this is actually I'm happy. I'm happy because we weren't even supposed to be here. Like we were knocked out. We were eliminated virtually, and thanks to Netherlands, we came back and we had an incredible run up until the final. Even in the final, we were like in it at some point of the game, and to see our boys fight so hard and come back with such resilience, like this is such an incredible Pakistan cricket team. And I think after many years, we've seen such a team with such courage, such fight, such resilience. And for the first time in a long time, when these boys lose, no one's talking about them underperforming on purpose. No one's talking about lobbying. No one's talking about match fixing. No one's talking about grouping. It's a unit, and they're trying their best. They're playing good cricket, and that reflects even on the fans. Like when Pakistan is losing, all of Twitter, all of social media, they're talking about tactics, they're talking about matchups, they're talking about stats and data. And that's such a big switch in the whole mindset. And credit goes to Babar Azam, the whole team, and the way he's led our boys up until the final.
Yeah, that's definitely a switch that I don't think we're used to, because when all throughout the late 2000s and the early 2010s, when we would lose, the reasoning would be less so towards the quality of the cricket played and more so towards the intent. The intent, I'm not talking about positivity or negativity. I'm talking about just were the boys even in this game from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
This is definitely a big switch, and credit goes to the management, the cricket team, Babar, 100%. This is definitely Babar Azam's team. This is definitely Babar Azam's lads. We have not seen a captain with this much authority since, dare I say it, 1992 Imran Khan. From the late 80s to the early 90s, he called the team. He was like, he's in it, he's out, and that was it. That was written on stone. We haven't seen that much authority from a captain in a very long time. I think credit also goes to Ramiz Raja for backing him up. That hug at the post-match
Yeah.
presentation ceremony, which has kind of gotten viral at this point, Man, that says it all. Like, it's one cricketer to another cricketer. It's one gladiator to another gladiator. Um, it's just like I get you, man. I've been there before. Like Ramiz was there 30 years ago holding the trophy, and Babar
He took the winning catch.
he took the winning catch. Yeah, people forget that Ramiz Raja was a part of that iconic moment.
Yeah.
The final catch that was taken, but it was. I think where my emotional roller coaster starts is that I am not discouraged from this team at all, and this was not a discouraging team, a bunch of people at all, but it was definitely a little bit disappointing. Um, just knowing that if you just batted right, if you just had the 15, 20 runs that were short, 138, maybe 158, you won it. That's the thing that is upsetting to me.
Yeah.
That's it.
And I think we should get to the specifics of the match when
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
talking about it. We lost the toss, and Joss Butler chose to field first.
Mhm.
I think they were like really high in confidence after the India game. They're like, okay, we chased 170 in 17 overs, won by 10 wickets. We'll do the same thing here. Just keep the same team, same mindset. And when Pakistan came out to bat, there was definitely nerves, both from England and from Pakistan.
Yeah, I think there was more nerves from their side, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. I think a lot of pressure on Ben Stokes as a bowler. He was bowling the first over, and there was definitely a lot of nerves, and rightly so. I mean, regardless of how much cricket you played, World Cup final, MCG, 80,000 people sitting in, and billions watching on TV. It's no like doubt that there's going to be nerves. But I think again, Pakistan they lacked a bit of intent in the power play. And then when Rizwan got out, we saw too much intent from Haris.
Yeah, too much intent.
Too much intent. Haris and the people who followed, like they wanted to hit the ball outside of Australia, like, out of the continent, somewhere in New Zealand. I don't know, but I think Pakistan misread the pitch so bad.
Mhm. I think even the people who were reading the pitch misread the pitch. I think Wasim Akram was talking about this on his show, that people called it a flat track. It's gonna 180, 190 easy, and that was not the pitch that they played on. It was gripping. It was turning.
There was bounce?
There was like from off the good length, the ball was going over people's like
Yeah.
chest and shoulders. Like that's not what a cricket ball is supposed to do at that at that height. And there was a lot of misjudgment from both camps, I would say, to that regard.
But more so Pakistan, right? Because I think they were trying to like aim for like 180, 190, and I feel like 160 on this pitch would have been an ideal, like a par total.
I think above
something,
par.
something with our bowling, we could have easily defended that.
With
right?
with the performance we gave in the second innings, I'm saying 160 and you had it bagged. Like
Yeah.
let's take the same performance that went on and just add 20 to it, right? Suddenly you need 20 in the last over.
As Vikarbai said, different bowl game altogether. So, I mean, yeah, 160 would have been just us ideal here. And there came a point like after Liam Livingston's over that went for 16 that I felt like Pakistan's really like gaining momentum here. And Adil Rashid, man, what a world-class leg spinner, wicket taker
That's probably the best over I've ever seen in a cricket final.
in a World Cup final, bowling a maiden wicket over, taking the wicket of Babar Azam, and then
And
followed
it's
up.
not even just the wicket, it's the way it was taken, the ugliness of it. We associate Babar as a class act player. He's easy on the eyes. He's sublime to watch. Everything is effortless.
It's a purist.
He's a purist, right? He's the guy who plays from the book. And that shot was just so ugly, man. That was just one of those things where Babar had no idea where that ball was going, where it was turning, how much it was going to grip. And mind you, it turned a fair bit. Like
Yeah.
that was almost an off spinner.
And he's bowling really slow as well. I noticed like it was like very loopy.
He went
Leaving
Babar,
the
I
ball
think
in the
Babar
air.
went for the cut, and then he was trying to like drive it at the end, and then a lot of things were happening at the same time, and it was this weird top leading edge that just
Lots of talk on data and matchups. Babar has a terrible record against right on leg spin. We've seen Rashid Khan get him out many times. Even Adil Rashid has gotten before this match like 2 or 3 times. So Babar definitely has a weakness against leg spin and more so towards the googly. I think going forward, he needs to definitely develop a sweep shot or a shot where he comes down the ground and attacks the spinner, which he does. Which oftentimes he does, but I think just the pressure at the final, and he wanted to anchor towards the end.
he was looking good. Like just as he got out, he was
Yeah.
starting to pick up steam.
The partnership between Sean and Babar was looking really good.
Yeah, it was looking good. It was looking threatening. We were 87 for 2 on
70 something for 2.
No, it was 87 for 2 when he got out.
Okay.
87 for 2, 11 overs done. That was the score when Babur got out. And then after that, we scored like
Yeah.
50.
Also, a lot of questions on
Not even.
should Iftikhar have gone up before Shadab, because again, matchups, Shadab has a great record against playing spin and
Mhm.
more so leg spin. Maybe it would have been a better decision to send Shadab over Iftikhar. Hindsight is 2020.
Hindsight. Yeah, definitely hindsight. But not. I don't even think it's hindsight. I would think it was quite a blatant call. As if the car was walking in, I remember I was watching the game with you, and you were like, "Why is Shadab not in? Like
Yeah.
this is so weird."
And even if Iftikhar, like I get he went in, but his game, like his success this whole tournament has been by attacking. Like he took on Akshar Patel, he took on Ashwin, he took on the ball from South Africa. He just got bogged down here. Like he was just like feet going nowhere, getting squared up, and
Yo,
I have
the
no clue.
ball was staying in the air forever.
Yeah.
It like was not wanting to come down, and then when it hit the pitch, it turned like a mile.
Yeah, like it hit a rock or something.
Yeah, it was like exactly. It was like it hit a pebble, and then it just went the other way. You can watch that over again, and you can see Iftikhar where he was anticipating the spin would be and where the ball ends up.
Yeah.
There's like daylight between the bat and where the ball is in the keeper's hands. Like that's how much deviation there was from what the anticipation was from what actually happened.
Yeah.
And that just goes to show that there was a lot more in that pitch offering than it was told to us.
Yeah. And then just Iftikhar got out as well the over after, and then there was a bit of a good partnership between Shadab and Shan that looked really good. But I don't know, again, Pakistan, just if they maybe look toward just twos and threes toward the end of the innings, and maybe have gone harder toward the last 2-3 back end of the innings, we could have gotten to a more respectable total. But Shan got out, Nawaz got out, Shadab got out, and looking at the England team and comparing it to Pakistan's, I just realized how much of a batting depth we lack. Like Adil Rashid for England is coming at 11, and Adil Rashid has a couple of first class hundreds. I think he has. He's more than handy with the bat. That's what I'm trying to say. With Pakistan, Mohammad Wasim is coming in at number 8, 6 down.
Yeah.
And I have seen no record, no evidence of him being a good batsman. I have never seen him score runs in domestic first class, PSL, international. So I'm not sure how we are categorizing him as an all-rounder. I'm not blaming Wasim, but I'm blaming the people who are selecting him as a quote-unquote all-rounder. The game against Zimbabwe, he played crucial dot balls that led towards the game being so tight towards the end.
Do you think it would have been better call to send like one of Haris or Naseem up front?
Maybe.
Just because of the Naseem strike rate thing I was talking about.
Given the situation, yes, probably. But again, this is where Pakistan is lacking a genuine pace bowling all-rounder that we've been screaming for the past 1 year. Like, if the World Cup is in Australia, why did we not groom a Fahim Ashraf and Ahmad Butt and Amr Yamin and Amr Jamal? Like, where are these guys? Why are we banking on a Mohammad Wasim who was 21 years old, good bowler, no doubts about that, but no evidence of being handy with the bat. And yeah, just no batting depth, just guys coming in and swinging, and we underscored by a lot towards the last five overs of the game.
I think the last 9 overs we scored 55 runs for 7 wickets.
Despicable. It's so sad. I mean, we saw Pakistan make a game out of 137. Imagine like a 155. Imagine a 160, and it could have been a different ball game altogether.
I'm being honest. Like, you put 20 in that score that we just had, and you play that same game. Firstly, 60 off 39 is a different feel than 49 off 39.
Yeah.
Right? That's a whole different way that the England team is going to bat. The overs between 10 to 15, right after the innings, the drinks break, we conceded only 20 runs.
Yeah. And that were great bowling from Shadab and
Naseem Shah, Haris Rauf. It's clinical bowling.
Clinical.
It's like, the only difference is that that's the only reason that I'm not that bummed out is because it reminds me of that spell of Wahab Riaz against Watson in 2015 in the quarterfinals. The only thing about that was a one-off. That is not reflective of Wahab Riaz's career at all. Wahab Riaz's career is 9 overs, 55 runs, and 1 wicket. 9 overs, 70 runs, 1 wicket. That's Wahab Riaz for
flashes of brilliance.
Yeah, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I can for sure say is that spell from 10 to 15 was not a fluke. That was Naseem Shah at its best. That was Haris Rauf at his best. That it was Shadab at his best.
Dude, India, we didn't take a single wicket in the whole semi-final. And Pakistan had England 3 down in the power play.
Beauty.
Credit to Butler. and credit to England's wide ball setup and their whole management and their mindset. Regardless of whatever wickets were down, regardless of whatever the score was, Butler kept going at it. Like we saw Naseem ball an incredible over to Butler. He was getting beat left, right, center, but still he had the audacity to scoop him for a six
That was
in a World
beautiful.
Cup final at MCG. You're the captain of the team. To play that shot on that occasion, it's something else. It's just backing your skill and just the confidence to do that. I think it's incredible. I was watching Joss Butler's T20 batting masterclass that he did with Sky Sports, I believe 4 years ago, 2018, and he's just talking about his mindset and how he plays T20 cricket. He's definitely one of the modern day greats. We've seen him score tons of runs in the IPL, tons of runs for England as an opening batsman, and it's just he's an artist. It's poetry in motion when he's playing,
It's beautiful.
and it was incredible to see, and also just an incredible start from Shaheen as well. I know he was like he's pushing through an injury, getting Alex Hales out, signature first over wicket, ball swinging back in on a length, almost reminded us of the ball he bowled to KL Rahul.
Mhm.
Unplayable, man. Like it's just
Yeah,
he's a special
I
talent.
saw like side by side, and it was just like watching the same video with like different, people in it.
Yeah.
It was awesome to see that feeling of like getting someone out in the first over. Shaheen can definitely emulate that.
Yeah.
That fear in the batsman and that hope in the fielding side. Like 138, 139 to win or whatever it was, and you get Alex Hales out in the first over. Like that was just the feeling was like, okay, maybe something can happen here. And then Hardest Rove just coming in, banging it in.
Getting Joss Butler's wicket. This guy has gotten the wickets of Joss Butler, Rohit Sharma, Surya Kumar Yadav. These are like massive, massive wickets.
Yeah, big names in the batting era of cricket, and he's just a problem for the batsman. And I
5 years
love
ago,
that.
Hardest Rauf was on the streets of Pakistan playing tape ball cricket professionally, trying to make a few bucks here and there. Out of nowhere, this guy's whole life went 360, and he found himself on Sunday playing against England, World Cup final for Pakistan. It doesn't get bigger than this.
And the other thing is he not only that, like he worked really hard.
Yeah.
And you can see like the 2019, 2020 Faris that came into the team, brand new, all aggression, no like brains, basically. And now you can just see like he's hitting those spots. He's giving the 151, 155, like hitting like extreme pace.
It's an evolution, you know. We saw when Shaheen got injured that Hardest Rauf stepped up as the leader of our bowling attack. And even the game, this is the final. The reason why Naseem Shah bowled that spell was because Hardest Rauf went up to him before he started bowling, and he told him exactly which length to bowl. Don't forget, this is Hardest Rauf's home ground playing for the Melbourne Stars, and he's got many wickets here. He knows exactly what lengths to bowl,
2 hat-tricks,
what angles to bowl at, and so
and it
just,
worked.
Just
2 runs.
guiding and pumping Naseem, who's just 19 years old. You have to keep that in mind. So it's just terrific to see.
Yeah, and Naseem just was like he took his advice to heart and just 2 runs off that over, and it was just beating him. Like it was just it was so beautiful to watch.
Ben Stokes
had no idea what to do. It was like he was there to even Ben Stokes was there just to witness the greatness of that spell. It's like I'm getting
it's Naseem and Rizwan playing.
Naseem and Rizwan playing. He's like, yo, I'm just here to watch it go by, buddy. That's all it was. And I honestly thought at that point of the game, I thought that Ben Stokes kind of bottled it. I thought this guy's he's not getting it on the bat. You needed like some 50 odd runs off like 50 odd balls. Suddenly the balls are going in the 30s, high 30s, low 40s. Runs are still in the 50s. Like I was like, this guy might just be like working in our favor. And then that missed run out, man. I just keep thinking about that missed run out from Hardest Rauf. He was maybe 10 feet away. You can see like 2.5 stumps. Stokes is nowhere to be seen in the frame. Ball misses by like maybe a few inches.
Yeah.
And that's it. Ben Stokes out there, the game is over. I guarantee you that.
That's what people were talking about, because England's openers have done so well this whole World Cup that their middle order and their lower middle order was sort of underexposed. So if Pakistan had gotten early wickets, which they did, they kind of put Ben Stokes, Moeen Ali, Harry Brook up, and Liam Livingstone exposed in the final in a crunch match. And yeah, there was also one more run out that was missed. It was Harry Brook, bad throw to Shadab, and we missed that as well.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
a couple
that
of
was Hardest too.
Was it Haris or was it Babar? I think I'm
It
not
wasn't
sure.
Babar.
Somebody threw it.
Somebody else.
Nawaz threw it. Nawaz threw it.
Oh, Nawaz. Yeah, it was
Yes,
Nawaz. Yeah.
and yeah, those small chances you need them to go in your favor in a big match like this.
Yeah.
And yeah, if that run out had happened, it could have gone anywhere. And Pakistan, like because of that spell of Shadab and Naseem, I think they need 41 off 30, and then
Yeah.
because Shaheen took that catch, injured his knee again, the same knee where
Yeah, let's talk about that a
he
little
got
bit.
his ACL.
I think
or-
ACL torn, yeah.
yeah, or PCL, I think, whatever it is. He got his he hurt his right knee again, and we saw immediately like he couldn't get up.
Let's talk about that. So the ball, Shalab is bowling. It's a little bit of a short ball. I think Harry Brook who comes off
Harry
the track. He hits him, doesn't connect, goes in the air. I thought it was 4. Like the way
I
the
thought
camera was
it
angled.
went like pretty wide. Actually,
Yeah, I don't know how the field was set for that ball, but I think Midon was quite. It wasn't
Rough.
at the boundary, and
Yeah.
it was quite wide as well. So like Shaheen got there, beautiful catch, but as soon as he caught it, he went down. As soon as he caught it, he went down, and he went down in pain, in agony. Like it wasn't
Mhm.
like one of those I want some attention ones. Shout out Ahmed Shadad, but it was like a genuine, like pain. And when I saw the replay, I saw that he landed on his knee.
Yeah.
And that was the knee that was injured. So like, I don't know. Hindsight again, did he have to go like arm up? If he had gone the other way, fingers pointing down, cup down, he
I
could
don't
have
think
caught.
it was that low to go fingers down. Like it came towards his face, so
I
that's
mean,
why he went up.
He didn't come towards his face. Like he was sitting while he caught it.
Okay,
Like
I don't think I saw
knee.
it that closely. I don't
Because
think
he
I
fell
saw
on his knee, right? So he was going down while he caught it, and that's when he sat on his knee. His body weight fell on his knee. Anyways, I'm not judging the authority or the
judgment.
yeah. I'm not basically questioning his judgment on the catch. I'm just saying I'm just trying to pull at straws here. If I'm being honest, he maybe does not go upper cup. He goes down. He gets that catch. Doesn't fall on his knee. Bowls his third over. And mind you, he bowled the first ball of the third over, and he beat Moin Ali. Like I don't know how fast that was or how whatever that was. It was wide enough that Moin reached for it and he missed. So like a couple more of those, and suddenly game is on.
Yeah, testament to Shaheen's mindset and his willingness to carry on for the team and the country. That he came back onto ball. Like, clearly, he was struggling to walk even. So,
Yeah.
But see, I want to go back to maybe the second podcast we did, and I was against Shaheen playing in the World Cup. Period. I don't want Shaheen or any bowler who's injured to come back without match practice directly into a World Cup in a big match. Because I didn't feel like Shaheen's performance or this World Cup is that valuable to risk Pakistan's chances or to even risk Shaheen's future career. I want Shaheen Afridi to be a bowler to take 400 test wickets, to play 100 test matches, to maybe get close to Wasim Akram's record. He's so young and he's so talented. He's a once in a generation fast bowler. We need to protect him. We need to safeguard him and not risk his career, not risk the future 10 years just because of this one T20 World Cup. And that was my whole argument from the start of the tournament. Like, we've played the Asia Cup, we played the England series, the tri-series without him. We have Hasnain on the bench, we have Dhani on the bench. Why shouldn't we just use those guys instead of a half-fit Shaheen? I know he took wickets, I know he was an impact player, but still, you're risking this guy's career. Like, he's a once-in-a-generation iconic fast bowler. He could be anything. Why are we risking not only his career but Pakistan's World Cup chances by risking him and playing him? I was against him playing in the first place, and I think now, I don't know the extent of his injuries, but it could have gotten worse. This could be something that's reoccurring, and it puts his career and his future in international cricket in doubt for the next 2-3 months.
Yeah, so he's definitely out of the England tour, right?
Definitely, 100%. It's also a test series, right? So like, he can't bowl 4 overs. How he's going to bowl 25 in a day?
Yeah. I think this is a good time.
Like, do you get that point?
I totally get your point. I also see 11 wickets and in a nomination for player of the tournament.
He was part of the ICC, the team of the tournament.
Yeah, team of the tournament. He was shortlisted as one of the people of the tournament. I'm just saying, like, I get what you're saying at the same time, but this is his prime. He'll never be 21 again.
But there's going to be more tournaments coming up that we can win there's if you look at the future tours program, there's a World Cup next year, there's a T20 World Cup the year after, there's a Champions Trophy the year after. There's many opportunities to be more fit and win tournaments rather than risking your whole career. And you know what happens to Pakistani players when they go injured and they just disappear. We've seen Rahman Rees, we've seen Junaid Khan, we've seen Umar Gul. All of these guys, once they get injured, they're never the same bowlers again. Their comebacks have been forced. They've been rushed, and they were just never the same bowlers.
I want to have a conversation about, maybe this is a different podcast altogether, but maybe we could talk about it a little bit here. What do you think about substitutions, like proper, genuine substitutions for players with genuine injuries? Like, who was that Netherlands? Was it Olidi? Delidi. He gets hit in the face. He can't see from one eye. Like, he's out of the game. You're down one player. Is that fair?
I think
Why not like substitute someone off the 15-man squad, goes in place for him? Genuine cases. I'm not talking about flopping in the field and then going out. Like, Shaheen, people know that he's recovering from an injury. If he pulls an ACL, he's out. Like, fine, bring in Hasnain in his stead.
I think that's a good point. There are replacements for concussion. We saw in the 2019 Ashes series, England versus Australia at Lords, Jofra Archer hit Steve Smith in the head, and he has a concussion. He goes out, and Marnus Labuschagne comes in as his replacement.
And he plays like bats and everything.
Yeah, he bats and everything. He scores a 50. And so that was the first time we saw like a substitution sort of replacement in cricket. But yeah, I think it could be explored. But
it's just
you
one of
would
those
need to
things.
just analyze the extent of the injury. Otherwise, people can be like, "Oh, my hamstring is gone."
Exactly. That's a call that the umpires, the match referee makes, right? Like if it's a visible injury, like if it's a man's bleeding out, can't see from one eye, or is pulled his ACL. I mean, that's I'm just saying, because I've noticed the ICC, the International Cricket Board, is so slow on making rapid changes that the game just isn't growing as fast. Like, it took them so long to really understand that T20 is the way to export the sport into the parts of the world that probably are not privy to it. You see a team like the Netherlands who beat a world-class test team nation in South Africa. That was a formidable team. Zimbabwe beat Pakistan. That was a formidable team. Actually,
Ireland beat England.
Ireland beat England. Sikandar Raza was nominated as one of the players of the tournament. Like, that's not a small feat. Now, you have to realize this happens because T20 is such a unpredictable format. It's the way that the game is played. Literally, anybody on their day can beat anyone. Which we saw in this tournament. It was great to see. Afghanistan almost beat India as well. Like, it was one of those things.
Bangladesh beat India almost.
Bangladesh almost beat India. It was one of those things where I'm like, I'm kind of rooting for the little guy here. And T20 is one of those places where you actually have faith that the little guy might win. Yeah, it's difficult in 50 overs. Test matches don't even talk to me about it, because it's a whole this different way that game is played. But if you want the sport to actually get introduced to the new era, you need to make rules like this, where an injury that is as formidable as the one that Shaheen got is not, it doesn't cost you the game. Because let's say if a rule like that is in place, Shaheen goes out, Hasnain comes in, Hasnain finishes off his over. Hasnain, I don't think, goes for 15, 16. Maybe he goes for 7, 8, 10. You still got 5 on the board, right? And that there's another over coming that Hasnain can bowl. It's a different situation altogether. I think the ICC definitely needs to look into some of those rules. That's one rule they should look into. Getting bowls on a free hit and not running is definitely one of those rules that I will petition for myself. That's just downright stupid. Those are the things that kind of provide hindrances for people, maybe friction for people to come in and like understand what's actually going on. All of the major sports have substitutions. Football, European football is one of the most grueling games. 90 minutes of straight sprinting. You need to get someone in and out there. This game we play for 5 freaking days, man. Like, that's even more grueling. So
just on the same vein of what you're saying, I know we're kind of going off topic, but maybe in the future I want to see captains retiring batsmen. Like, if someone's struggling, like if someone's like 20 off 30, I want the captain to be like, "Hey, boy, retired hurt, come out. I'm gonna send a replacement."
Yeah, that'd
That
be
would be
cool.
interesting.
People do
And
that
why not?
in the practice matches, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
That's a practice
Yes,
match
correct.
situation.
Yeah. And I think, why not? Why shouldn't we use the same tactic in a T20 match?
I feel like that's a bit more radical than what I
It's for the
suggested.
betterment of the team.
It's for the betterment of the team for sure. And then what? The player never comes back in, or just
Yeah.
okay, never comes back in. That's a wicket.
Or maybe they come towards the end, like at the very end. I think that's the rule with the retired hurt. If you're retired hurt,
You have to come back at the end.
come back in the end, last wicket or something. It's something of that sort. But yeah, I think it would be a cool concept.
Definitely, like you could try that out with one of the leagues and stuff like that, and see how that plays out. There's a lot of room for this game to improve.
Yeah.
But coming back to the final, like finishing thoughts on that, and I want to talk about where does the Pakistani cricket team go from here?
Lord.
Lord, yeah, for sure. I think overall the final was exciting, for sure. At least it wasn't lackluster. There was not a moment in that final second innings, at least, where you were like, I for sure know that England's gonna win. England was on the back foot for a good chunk of that 20 overs. I want to say about 6 or 7 overs. England was like, I don't even know if we're gonna win this. Which was great to see. Again, I was not discouraged, but disappointed. I think this team is solid, 10 out of 10. These lads are amazing. I'd rather lose with these guys than Malik in the team any single day, right? I don't want to see that guy ever again near the green uniform. He's done for. He looks great on A Sports, though, by the way. Him and Vicky Bhai and Vaz and Misbah, they have a good camaraderie, good chemistry. I love when he dances. I love when he gets emotional. He's a good talker, good analyst, a bit toxic,
One of the
but
I'm not a Malik supporter, but he was captain of Seattle Stallions for a very long time, and they have a record of winning the most T20 tournaments of all time of history. They have
2007 World Cup final.
They have 9 trophies. Seattle
2000.
Stallions.
Okay, but and that's a bit unfair because Seattle Stallions was Pakistan B.
Yeah, Imran Nazir. We had
Muhammad
Sumit
Asif.
Tanvir, Asif. Raza Hassan was there. Yasir Arafat, I think, was
That's
there.
Pakistan B in 2000.
Shoaib
the late
Malik was
2000s,
there.
man. Like, come on.
Haris Sohail was there.
Yeah, so you
It's a
can't.
good team.
Yeah, that's
Solid
a great team, right?
Yeah.
And it's one and Karachi had like its team divided into 2 zebras and dolphins.
Yeah, it's
so
like LA Clippers and
LA Clippers and Lakers
I'm
basically.
dead.
So
But yeah,
it's an
back
unfair
to the
assessment.
final. Back to the final.
Yeah, the final was just like, I'd rather lose with these boys than win with the other ones. They had their time. 2007 final, 2007 World Cup. Actually, I'm sure Malik was captain. Can't forget that. Props to him for sure. Cementing himself in history. I don't think this taints Babar's legacy at all. I think him going into 2 finals, 1 semifinal, right off the bat, it's pretty solid. Like I gotta give him props to that. The way he carried his team towards the semifinal, his 50 was great to watch. It was just a great knock altogether between him and Rizwan. Definitely some changes are in order. I don't know if this will be a conversation to be had, but definitely some changes are in order. I don't see the same 11 playing the next World Cup for sure. It's going to be a different set of guys. There's definitely some positives. Mohammad Haris, great positive. Naseem Shah, obviously one of the future stars of the team. Just gotta work on these dudes, man. You gotta give them the match practice. You gotta give them the confidence. You can't take Mohammad Haris away from this game. Like he's in it for good now. Just because he played a bad knock in the final does not mean not everybody can win Zamam. We have to understand that. And I really believe if you put in the time, you actually work with this dude, this guy could be a really good number 3, number 4 batsman, comes in the middle overs, knocks it off a bit, gets a good quick 25, 30 off 15 and 20, gives you a good pump in the middle. So the future is looking bright. Pakistan cricket team is like, one of those teams that can never be written off. It's a great all around tournament, man. I had fun.
I just wanted to say, like, from England's point of view, 2015 World Cup ODI, they got knocked out by Bangladesh in the group stage, and the England team, the management, the board went back to the whiteboard, and they decided the way forward for the team is going to be playing attacking cricket, attacking mindset, regardless of whatever the situation of the game is, and they saw immediate results. Owen Morgan took over as captain, and he led this team brilliantly. 2016, they played the final. One bad Ben Stokes over and they couldn't get over the line. 2019 they won. 2021 got unlucky. 2022 this tournament, Josh Butler carrying on Owen Morgan's legacy, playing with the same mindset, the same intent, and showing the world that this is how T20 cricket is supposed to be played. Doesn't matter how many wickets are down. Doesn't matter what the required run rate is. You just gotta play your game. You just gotta attack and dominate. If you're bowling, you need to take wickets, and if you're batting, you got to look to have the intent to score boundaries. And I feel like England is the most deserving team to win this World Cup.
100%.
And because of these reasons, I'm not that sad that Pakistan lost.
The most deserving team won.
Pakistan, on the other hand, I feel like they need to go back and really think about what the way forward is. And I'm talking more about not the captaincy, not the playing 11, but the approach and the intent that we want to play with. I don't know what the future looks like for Babur as a captain. Yes, I think you did say that. Yeah, he led us to many finals and semifinals, but just not being able to cross the line. I still have my doubts over Babur as a captain. I'm not sure if the board wants to give him more opportunities for him to learn, because it seems like he's learning on the job.
No, but like, who is the board? That means Raja is the board?
Yes.
He's not taking him off. I don't think that's happening. I'm being genuinely honest. That's not happening until he goes has a horrible 3-0 loss against England in the test series, and he goes 2 innings losses. You know what I'm talking about?
No, but from T20s in general.
No, I don't think that's happening.
Okay, sure.
No,
yeah, you never know.
I know. I'm telling you, that's not happening. I think Babur, how old is he? 28, 29? I don't think I see him as the captain until the next World Cup, next T20 World Cup, 2024. I don't see anything changing before that. People hate this all the time when we do this, but you have to compare him to Virat Kohli, and Virat Kohli did not give up his captaincy until it was absolutely imperative that he does. Right? 152 for 0 against Pakistan. That's when you get kicked off from the first round of the World Cup in Dubai, which is supposed to be your home turf. That's when okay, fine, that was embarrassing, but him being asked to give the captaincy away losing in a final like that's unheard of. That's not happening. Not to say who would be a good captain after him. That's a whole different debate. We don't even know. Shadab's name keeps getting thrown in. No, I think he's a better player than he'll be a captain. Who else? Rizwan's name is being thrown in. I don't think so, man.
Shan Masood can speak English.
Shan Masood can speak English. Then he should come on the podcast. All right, that's what he should do. He should be on here on Vaguely Familiar Backward Point. But no, I don't think the captaincy is going away from Babur. What I think needs to happen is the board has to double down and back this guy up. This guy is a generational talent. You could see throughout the whole tournament, the criticism got to him. It was quite evident. 192 runs in the span of this World Cup is not Babur Azam. He scored 303 runs in the last World Cup, right? He didn't even play a final. So there's definitely some mental blockage there. He needs to be, give him CBT, man. Give him a couple of weeks off. Give him a Maldives trip, PCB on the PCB deck. Give him some relaxation time. Get him married off. I'm into that. I'm into getting him married off. Getting us a piece of mind.
Somewhere I don't know.
What I'm trying to say is this guy just looked very, very stressed out. He's a very cool dude. His press conferences, I can give his entire press conference right now because he says the same thing back over and over again. And he's greatly media trained, media savvy. Every now and then you'll see a crack in it. I think he's a great front for the Pakistan cricket team. He's a great ambassador for the team. He's an all-round player.
He's the best player. He's a world-class player, and I think this is a very young team.
Yeah,
they all look up to Babur.
I think 9 of these players played the World Cup for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, the other reason why this team is so exciting in the future is looking so bright is because this whole side, and especially our bowling attack, is so young. Naseem is 19, Wasim is 21, Shaheen is 21, Haris Rauf is 28, Shadab is 24. So just watch out for what these guys do in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Hasnain on the bench is 22. So lots to look forward to. And I think I want to compare this loss to maybe India's loss in the 2003 World Cup final against Australia.
Ooh.
They got hammered.
Deep
it
cut.
took them 8 years to groom those same players, Sehwag, Sachin, Harbhajan,
Dhoni.
Zahir Khan,
Dhoni wasn't there, but yeah.
and they came back after 8 years on home turf and they won the World Cup. They crossed the line. So have faith in these guys. We're getting closer and closer by every tournament. And I think come at the next World Cup, ODI World Cup, the next T20 World Cup, these guys will be ready. They'll be ready to fire. And I'm hoping Babar will have improved tactically and by decision making and making a custom team to the conditions that are required.
You think they're already eyeing the next World Cup in 2023, the 50 over one?
Absolutely. And I think Pakistan will be great contenders. We have a solid opening pair, Babar Azam Rizwan. We have world-class players. We have Shaheen if he's fit, Naseem, Haris Rauf, Shalab, Nawaz, Iftikhar. It's going to be an interesting World Cup. And I really want to see how Pakistan does there.
If Pakistan goes.
That's a different podcast altogether.
All right, buddy. Finishing thoughts. What are we? Man, we've been here for 50 minutes. Finishing thoughts. Anything else you want to discuss before we head off? I just want to give you props because I think we were quite active during the World Cup.
Yeah.
Full-time jobs here, trying to do the podcast on the side. It's currently like, what is it, 1 a.m. in the night here, and we're trying to shoot this podcast. So it just like wanted to give you a shout out, give the people who are watching a shout out, people DMing us, messaging us, talking to us about it. Like, if we're late to an episode, if we're not doing a review, they really like want to hear what we have to say. And just wanted to thank everyone for the support that we had, the community that we created online. People watch our reels, our TikToks, they engage with us, they talk to us, DM us, all of that stuff. We really appreciate it, man.
Shout out. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, shout out to everyone. And hopefully we're going to have a big news about this podcast really soon as well. This podcast is becoming bigger than our podcast in general. And that just means that it has a few different ways to go for this in the future. And I'm very excited for whatever is to come. I think for the next while, I think it's going to be a little bit of a hiatus here. We're definitely going to come back for the England-Pakistan preview of the test tour, review of the test matches as well every now and then. But until then, there's going to be a lot of things in the works, which I'm very excited for.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, I'm excited. Fingers crossed. Let's see what the future holds.
Yeah. Well, that's Nazar Sayed here signing off with my brother Bashaar. Thank you for watching the Backward Point edition of the Vaguely Familiar podcast. If you like what you saw, please leave a review, comment, rate it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It really helps push us up into the algorithms. And we'll see you soon again with more cricket content.
Cheers.
Cheers. Take care.